Hey, reading is fundamental. Y'all remember that. This your boy out from the north, back with another one. Got a great show for y'all. But before I get started, shout out to my boy JV. Go ahead and let them know what's up, man. Let them know who you are, just in case they don't know, my brother.
Hey man, it's Let's Talk with Jay versus Jordan, man. It's good to be here, man. Y'all in for a good one tonight.
Hey, I got my sweat red today too. So check this out. I'm just clowning around right now, y'all. But at the same time, this is a video to kind of pause on the gender war thing. We got some great things for y'all to for us to discuss tonight. You know what I'm saying? We definitely want some more fellas on the panel. We want some sisters on the panel, some women on the panel, so we can actually have a great discussion. All right. So before I do that, I want to go ahead and have my boy JB play this video so you can kind of see what's the mindset for the people that acknowledge it and people that don't acknowledge it so that we can actually do something about it. So JB, like my boy No John said, roll the tape.
On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Relates to just black people, or if you want to, you can relate it to black people. Do you think that there has been a gender war, and if so, is it over or not? I'm just making it.
I don't know what other people are doing, so I can't speak to them. I don't know.
Okay, black people, do you think that there is a gender war, and if so, is it over or not?
Again, I do not think that there has been a gender war in real day-to-day life. I've answered this so many times. Like
you're not being very clear, because again, I'm a C student. So if you can add the context after answering the question, is it a yes or no? Is there a war? And if it has been,
okay,
is it over or not?
Again, I do not think that there has been a gender war in day-to-day life. I think a lot of it's online. A lot of people are talking and whatever, but I think that's a small, loud minority. I think that's my opinion. I'm not sure how else I can answer this.
All right. So we see the back and forth on the Lapeef all the time, and of course you got your girl Kay, Kayla, those who say what they say. What up, Grace? They say what they say, and kind of just deflect. You know what I'm saying? Being delusional and lying. And I want us to really think about it like this. Okay. For the gender war, of course, it's not like the actual civil war or nothing like that. But the problem that we're having is for us getting along together. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason that may be for men and for women. Now, we both have valid reasons on our side. But I think what we got to start doing is actually asking ourselves, what do we want to bring to the table? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine this. Close your eyes and imagine this. So think about it. We sitting at this big table, 16 people, heads, leader of the men and the women. One side is women, one side is men. So you are the one that's going to talk. What are you going to say to try to, because it's been a long battle. So what are you going to say that you can bring to the table that, is feasible, tangible, something that makes sense from your side? What would you say, given a chance to actually talk to somebody and they actually hear you? You got the fembots on one side. You got women who believe in black love and all of that. Then you got other women that want to be career women, educated women. And then on this side for the guys, you got the guys that are high value men. You got the guys from the manosphere. You got the guys who are very intelligent. Some would call corny and lame, like a Russell Wilson. But you're the guy or you're the woman that speaks for both sides. You had a chance to talk to everybody and figure out, okay, well, what can we do to cease this situation? You know what I'm saying? We're pausing from the battle. We're pausing from the gender war. And we want to go ahead and bring something to the table because we're realizing now it's not helping either side. It's not helping families. It's not helping friends. And it's definitely not helping communities. So what would you say, JV, if you was on that other side of the table and you had to speak about what it is you can do or you can bring to the table that's tangible for men after speaking to all the group of men to try to make a change, to try to be more peaceful versus us battling all the time and just saying what we want? What would you bring to the table? What would be your ideal statement that you would say to the women?
Well, I didn't have anything written down yet. But
You ain't got to. This is live reaction. It ain't none of that.
But honestly, I would try to help to. Well, here I would try to emphasize that we don't hate you, ladies. We really care about y'all and we really love y'all. But we're kind of at an impasse right now where we can't keep letting bad behavior we can't let bad behavior keep going on like they did in the past and letting it build up to this point. I really want I want to emphasize to them that if you want me to be that man that you dream of, the man that you desire, then I need you to kind of like what you said. If you want me to step up, I need you to step back.
No. That's not what I asked. That's not what I asked.
Mm-hmm.
I said, for us, what you're trying to bring to the table, not what they have to do, what you're willing to do.
Well, I'm willing to do everything that they would want me to do. Like, I'm gonna be that provider for you. That's kind of already in my DNA and in my blood. It's kind of how I was raised. You know, country boys, we taught a certain way. But I'm gonna be that provider. I'm gonna be that protector. I'm gonna be that. I'll be that shoulder that you can cry on. That guy that's gonna listen to you when you're going through the emotional things that women go through all the time. And ultimately, I'll be your friend. I think girls want their guys to be their friends, and that's the best I can offer. I can offer to you because most women are feelings based. Like the financial part got you, boo boo, but the emotional part, I'm gonna be here for you on that. Now I'm gonna tell you that you acting crazy and you sometimes you need
no, none of that. I see. This gonna be a good task tonight. None of that. Now, going from that towards relationship. What about community?
Oh, you got somebody ready for you too.
Who that deal, Ray?
It's that boy No Jive.
Man, bring that brother on up here, man.
Brother coming to the stage.
Jizzy, what up, boy?
What's up, boys?
Got my sweat rag.
I swear.
I was starting to get sweat profusely. That's a big word. When it's time to do show, I don't know what that is. All right. I don't know how much you actually got the chance to hear, Job, but I'm gonna ask you the question next. So, community-wise, what would you be willing to do, JV?
Community-wise, for the women or just for the community as a whole?
The community, that's as a whole.
I'm willing to get out there and try to help the young men who fathers aren't around, regardless of whatever that situation was. Try to talk to them, try to be a mentor to them, try to teach them what a man's supposed to be. I will try to advise the ladies on bad decisions that I see they've already made or ones that I see that they're possibly about to make. I will try to, when the money get right, I would try to start different programs to try to help educate the older adults, the women in job skills, the men in job skills and trades. Basically, I'll try to do whatever I can with whatever's under, like whatever power that I have or whatever influence that I have and whatever resources that I have, I will try to put it into building up each individual level, the children to the men to the women.
Okay.
Best I can do.
Okay, that's not bad. All right, Job. Question for you.
What's up?
So we sitting. I don't know how much you heard, but say we sitting at this big table. You heard this part?
Nah.
We sitting at a big table, 16 people, 8 women on one side, 8 men on the other side.
Okay.
The side where the women are, you got women that are, let's say, fembots. You got women that are educated, career women, but you also got women that want to see Black love come back. Then on the men's side, you got the high value man, you got the blue collar man, you got the so-called lame, corny brothers and all that, the Russell Wilsons. You have a chance to speak for them. You spoke to the guys. And now we taking a pause from the gender war. You know, the battle ain't been going too good. It's like Gettysburg got this month. So you had the chance to talk to your fellas, and you want to see what you can bring you guys can bring to the table without blame, but what can you bring tangible to the table for the women? Because it's not about blame right now, but it's about actually fixing the problem. It's bringing something tangible to the table. So we're going to start out when it comes to the relationship of men and women. What would you say you would bring to the table for the women to make things better? No blaming. As soon as you start saying something blaming, I'm going to stop you. So no blaming the women, but what you bring tangible to the table.
Yeah, he stopped me.
Yeah, definitely. I would bring understanding into the situation because every situation evolves different. It devolves different. Um, that that that's the first one. Uh, the second thing I would bring to the situation is, uh, show them how to love. Let me learn your history. Let me learn your past. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand you better. Where are you hurting from? You know what I'm saying? And I think with those two, I could get to the heart of any problem.
Mm, good one. Good one. Okay. Now, community wise.
All right. Well, community wise, like JVJ said, definitely try to open some programs uh to target specifically men, um and put them back on their square. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's volunteering or bringing a positive light and outlook towards the community in that way. And as far as the young men, of course, mentor them. Shit, we seen an excellent example with JVJ. A young brother came up trying to promote his music, and he definitely took the forefront and try to mentor him after the fact and definitely promote his music. So there's a conscious skill level that is ingrained in all of us, and we want to see our community do well.
Mm, okay. I think that's a good one because asking these questions is just try to get our motors turning. You know what I'm saying? Like what can we do to be better for us? You know what I'm saying? Not just point fingers all the time, but what can we talk about? Not saying we don't do that over here, but it's also just talking about what we can try to do that's better. All right, so JB, back to you, my brother. See, you
Uh-oh.
ain't got no cap on that says Golden State on there, like a regular blue cap.
We can get that one.
All right. So my question would be to you:
Hmm.
what's a way for guys to get over their red pill rage in a healthy form of fashion? What's something they can do to get over that rage and get back to their purpose?
I think the first thing that they would have to do is they're gonna have to vent that out. They're gonna have to talk about it. They're gonna have to get all that pain up off their chest, whether they're talking to their homeboys, whether they need to go talk to a therapist. But I think the first thing is accept. First, you're gonna have to accept that you got it in you, because some
Mm,
dudes be like, "Nah, bro, they just did this to me or whatever." But after that, after you come to the understanding that, yeah, I do have a problem with this. I do hold contempt for these people. You got to start talking it out,
mm.
because you're gonna have to let it go before you can move on and do anything else. No, well, that's just my opinion.
No, that sounds like some good advice. What about you, John? What you think?
Well, definitely come to the Op from the Norm 18 show, and then come from the Let's Talk with JVJ for sure. You definitely gonna work out your problems. You're gonna learn something.
Mm, okay, that'll work. That'll work. All right.
For
So I'm
sure.
I'm thinking about this also. Like I said, going back to the table, us having a conversation. Um, what helps me is when I go and make videos showing love to positive sisters. You know what I'm saying? They always show love to Pink Book Lessons, Crimson Cure, uh, Daphne, aka Celebrity, as well as Love Dorsey. You know what I'm saying? To people that hold men and women accountable. So
Mm.
going to that idea, for us as men, my thing is when it comes to the relationships, I think some of us jump the broom thinking that when we as men go to other women, have our male whole phase, that's how we'll be able to deal with things and moving forward. But it doesn't always help. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just being able to deal with the women that, you know what I'm saying, your family members and friends if possible. You know what I'm saying? And I like being around. OG women, you know what I'm saying, that I can have good conversations with, especially if they're in relationships and married, and just talking about the things that they've been through and what they try to do for their husbands and things of that nature. And then talking to the men, you know what I'm saying? Because men, I like the way we a lot of times we'll have to charge it to the game. You know what I'm saying? I think we got to get back to being better at that. Now, the only way we're gonna realize what we can do is admitting there's an issue within us. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're gonna have to do first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would bring to the table is just like I gotta give Job his props on that, the understanding. We have to have that understanding, like, yo, I see what it is now. Let's talk more. Let's try to figure it out more. Let's pause from thinking about relationships and thinking about healing one another and building, being that resource that you need. Just like JV said earlier, yeah, you need a shoulder cry on. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Being more understanding, I think that's a great one. And then also with the community, both of you guys, I agree with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Trying to bring something to the community for the youth. You know what I'm saying? Mental health is a big thing that we actually got to talk about and we actually got to get into nowadays that we don't know more. You know what I'm saying? Or we get more to it. You know what I'm saying? So we got to bring into that, being able to be counselors and things of that nature. Unbiasedly, of course, but at the same time, being able to be realistic, listening to somebody's problem, giving good answers without, just because you're a man or a woman, you know what I'm saying, that we're going to separate the healing part. You know what I'm saying? It's important. Caring and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was another thing I was going to ask you guys. So, Jay, who's, because I already said the women that I listen to. Who are some women you like to listen to on YouTube or whatever that make you happy about women and keeping you vested in women, no matter how you have bad days, but the women that you listen to that keep you invested into women or sisters or whatever?
Well, you already stole some of mine, but Pink Book Lessons for sure, because Pink Book Lessons, she's on it and she doesn't hold back on calling out nonsense. Love Dorsey, I'm about to actually start covering a little bit more of her. I've been liking her. I've been looking at her from a distance, seeing if it was going to be any change, but I like Love Dorsey. Crimson Cure, I have not watched much of her, but I watched her a lot on the Lapeef Network, and she always comes correct. So I mess with her.
I know you've been watching a lot of Shahrazad Ali.
Oh yeah, I love her, but she ain't really on YouTube like that. She really ain't on there like that. Oh
yeah, So you got to get to like the book and all of that stuff like that, like a book, and just check out like her interviews and stuff. She's starting to do a lot of more stuff though. I seen her with MTR. It was another, and she did some stuff with another couple of sisters and stuff like that as well.
Hey, you got the ladies from of the network in the chat going, they going in.
Hey, what's up? What's up, y'all? Yeah. I want to have some ladies in this discussion as well. You know what I mean? We need to definitely have y'all on board as well. So y'all can come up, hit the link, come on up.
Yeah.
All right, Jive, same answer, same question for you. I mean, it could be watching wise, or it could be somebody you know personally. So, like, what women help you and keep you motivated for your love for women?
Well, definitely my mother. Mother. And you know, she teaches me like hard lessons, but also she gives that nurturing and that love, and especially my aunt. My aunt, man, she just fills me with so much positivity, like you know, keeping me motivated on the schoolwork, even though sometimes when, you know, my plans change and stuff like that, but she, you know, she gives me that motivation, telling me to keep going, you know. I appreciate them for that.
Okay.
And you know, I don't necessarily watch a lot of women on YouTube to see what they, you know, trying to figure out and what happens in their space, but you know, I definitely try to keep it close to home with family, you know, because they're gonna keep it realist with me, and for sure.
Cool. I'm feeling that. All right, JV, go to the comment chat section. We don't want to leave y'all hanging out there. What they talking about?
All right, from the very beginning, when Kay was talking on the Lavie thing, Grace said she's delusional. And then when you were talking earlier about what we need with the first question you asked, Grace came in and said we can motivate, uplift, encourage, strengthen each other's strengths, and help work on our weaknesses. So basically working together.
Okay.
And then she said after that, then get embraced by Grace.
Nice promo.
Hey, listen, you gotta embrace the grace. And then she also said iron sharpens iron. And then when you asked me the question about the ladies that I watch on YouTube, Alexis obviously came in here and said Kendra G. But that's where we at right now.
Okay, cool. But see, I like having this conversation because, like I said, we get so caught up in the battle and all that, and then we forget on our side the people who are on our side sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we try to make it in general and say, oh well, I'm talking about these, I'm not talking about them. But it still affects everybody around you and your attitude. You get what I'm saying? So when they say, you know, if you love women, then how would you treat a woman like that? Now I know we try to differentiate it, you know, categorize it, compartmentalize it, all them good things. But in reality, that's part of the red pill rage. I think it comes to a point as you get older. You got to go through it. For guys, we be having to go through it so we can come out on the other side. You know what I'm saying? But I like the fact that Jay, you said having therapy or talking to your homies. Cause that being bitter like that don't help you really get nowhere all the time. Like you got to get to that point that even when we want to point certain things out, you still got to be able to not be bitter with it. Kind of take yourself out of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, well, let's try to talk about something positive when it comes to each side and things of that nature. So women, ladies, y'all I don't know if y'all busy or not. Let me know in the chat if y'all can't come up at the moment. You know, let us know. You know what I'm saying? If you have to come up a little later or something. You know, y'all part of the panel like y'all scared of that. Y'all be on here every day. So I know y'all ain't. I know y'all is scared. Maybe they did. I don't know.
Ops 21 questions.
Come on up and get some of this love.
hey, Fitty.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But back to what I'm talking about. That's another thing I want to ask you. All right. So I started with JV last time. I'm gonna start with you, Jai. What you sipping on over there, boy?
Got a Four Loco.
Nah, this is Stone's Let's Be Homies hazy IPA.
Oh, that's them drinks you was talking about. She got the other day.
Yeah.
You still got all those?
Yeah, I don't really, drink. Once in a
what
while.
you're supposed to be doing, man.
Hey, that's a good way to calm your nerves, boy. That's a good way to calm your nerves as well. All right, so Jive, I'm gonna start with you. All right, so let me ask you something. Okay, let's say, hold on. All right, so what do you do to keep yourself focused on being positive, right? Like we already talked. You say, you talk to mom dudes. You know what I'm saying? You say about having understanding and things of that nature. So what do you feel you need to do in order, like say if you want to be in a relationship with a woman, what ways are you focused on getting yourself together for that relationship? And also, would you want to be married?
Well, definitely the way I try to bring focus to my life is staying positive towards my goals, like towards the schoolwork. Once I'm finished with that, I'm gonna try to expound on something else. Definitely looking for a career in the field, but I my outlook on life. I like to be free. I don't like to feel like closed off in a career field. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to have it being changed. It's I like to have it change. I don't like to feel frustrated or nothing like that. And definitely my next goal is something personal for me. It's like I definitely want to be a pilot. So that might be my next like goal, whether or not I do it for a big company or I do it part-time for myself. I definitely want to be a pilot. Fly
Okay. And what
helicopters
about
or planes or some shit. I don't know.
and what about the marriage part?
Well,
Let me get
I,
married
de-
again. Shit.
I definitely I definitely when it comes I definitely would look forward to it. Um I just gotta work on myself and make myself available to take care of that household like we all been talking about. So
Yeah, but what about like personality and having a healthy mindset for a relationship? Because you talked about some good things about your purpose, but what about your personality, your characteristic traits that matter for a relationship to grow into a marriage? Like, what are you doing to work on that?
well, right now I'm not doing shit to work on that because to be honest, I'm not really looking for that type of situation. Right now, my goal is to do, what I just said. And I'm not looking for that situation. But when I find somebody, like I would, nurture it, gain understanding, and we take it up to the next levels. We're gonna have to dedicate some years. No more of this you know, 1 year, 6 months type shit. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta do better. So we gotta build properly. And again, building properly equals taking care of the community. So if a person I meet isn't on that type of time, she just not for me.
Mm. Okay. What about you, Jay?
You're gonna have to ask me all those questions again.
Where's your mindset on your purpose? And do you think you're at a point that whatever your purpose is now will translate for you to get ready to be in a marriage?
Well, we kind of experiencing what kind of my purpose is right now, like the grind of it.
Uh-huh.
Even though I do other stuff, like this is like the extra stuff. I got my main stuff that I do during the day, but that's the purpose part. And do I think it'll translate into me wanting to like sign up for a marriage or something like that?
No, as far as like, is it getting you ready? Like, does it are is what you're doing building your character?
Oh yeah, well that's definitely happening. And we got Alexis from Texas joining the tune. Joining the tune.
Lexus, bring
Want me to
on
bring?
up in you.
Oh, she got access. She can bring herself up. Bring yourself up, girl. With all that access you got, you got to click on your face though. It's a practice run. Click on your face. Yeah, there we go.
There, oh,
She took
oh,
herself out.
oh,
She took herself out. You got to bring yourself back. Click on it again. But you want me to bring you up? You can bring yourself up.
Man, help bring the girl up, man. She's still all right. There you go. You got it. You good, Lexus?
Yeah, I'm good now. Like I just got access like 50, 11 days ago. But
11 days ago.
All right. So real quick before Jay finished what he was saying, let them know what's up with you and also when your show is, so they can check you out.
this is live in effect. Alexis from Texas. I have a show on Sundays on the JBJ Network, 7 p.m. That's what we're doing straight out the gate on subjects mainly Christian centered, or I want to say Jesus centered is what I'm targeting, but things about women and men and the effects of Jesus being in it. Amen. Amen.
All right. So y'all make sure y'all definitely check her out. All right. So Jay, go back to your what you were saying. For building character, does that translate to a relationship for you and marriage? Like, is that where you at right now?
Well, here you go. The purpose actually does help build towards that point because ultimately I have to be a provider. Once again, going back to what we were talking about before. So, working on your purpose, you're going to be able to build up money, build up resources. It's definitely going to build your character because you're going to have to deal with other people throughout your life, and you're going to have to learn that you can't win everything. Sometimes you got to take a back seat to stuff. But when it comes to marriage, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer up here, but as of right now, I'm in the no marriage category right now. As of right now, I'm
Mm.
not. I'm not. I'm for marriage in the eyes of the Lord, but I'm not for marriage in the eyes of the state. If
Oh,
that
okay,
makes sense.
gotcha. Totally makes sense. Okay,
Like
not
I
bad.
can, yeah, I can do all that. I'm just not really down to like sign away my rights. I'm not really down with that right now. But yeah, that's my answer.
Still figuring it out. Gotcha. All right,
Yeah.
so Lexus, you just got up here. I don't know if you heard the part where I prefaced it with saying we all at this table, men on one side, women on the other side, and we're talking about what we want to bring to the table and something tangible, something that's important. So we can't kill the gender war. We're taking a pause for the cause right now, and we're trying to mediate the terms and things of that nature. But we're talking about what we bring to the table. So say you're on the side with the women, y'all had a conversation. What would you say that y'all want to bring the table, or you want to bring to the table for the men, like on your side, saying like, yo, you know what I'm saying, we tired of this crap too, like we want to bring this, we want to bring that to the table because we feel it's valid for us to bring something too, you know what I'm saying. And the guys, we already talked, but now that you're women up here, you know what I'm saying, young lady up here, maybe you can speak on that. What would you say is vital to bring to the table from the women's side?
Uh, Peace, number one, especially among Black men. I feel that bringing peace from us as the Black women when we come home at the end of the day, because what I face out in the world is nothing, it's different, but nothing compared to what a Black man will face out in the world. So I want to bring peace to the home and make sure that he knows that in the home is where his peace is.
Mm,
Uh, Secondly, I want to bring the not the traditional word of what the feminists want to turn it into. I want to bring the femininity of a woman cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, looking good, because that's important. That I feel females acknowledge that because that is something that men acknowledge and that they appreciate. So those are the type of things that I want to bring to the table. And also, I think it comes into knowing your partner as well, but knowing your partner and adding whatever can accommodate him. So if he may not be so good at something, even if it may seem like more of his role, but being able to bring that to the relationship that, hey, I know how to do this a little bit better than you. I can take that on. And also, hopefully, with me taking that on, that he's watching and learning to where he can be better at it. Because I don't want, like, I'm naturally good at handling bills and balancing things like that because, to be honest, I was pushed in that position at a young age. My parents weren't that good at it, and they made a lot of mistakes to where when I got older and I was pushed into somewhat taking care of my sisters, I made sure that I knew how to do certain things, and balancing bills and making sure stuff got paid is just naturally one of my strong suits because of the effects that I had in my home. But
mm,
I'm gonna be honest, that's not something that I want to do indefinitely. Like, because I did it so much because of my parents lacking, it's not something that I want to do full time in my relationship. But momentarily, if that's something that he may need me to do till he gets his, the reins of it, then that's fine. And vice versa. If there's something that he can do that I'm a little that he's a little better than I am, then I want to be able to have that openness to where we could talk and not feel like I'm talking down to him or he talking down to me because I lack in something. So
What about when it comes to community?
community
Something as far as what you say as a black woman, like what can we you bring to the community that's going to help the community out, our community. You know what I'm saying? This involves everybody now. We're talking about the men, women, and children now. Things that help the community. You know what I'm saying? What would be your idea of what you could bring to the table on that? And keep talking. I'm listening. I'm just pouring me a drink. I'm sweating like a pig. But keep talking. I'm listening.
Number one, which I dabbled in a little bit with introducing myself, is that I do want to bring the true gospel as far as what it means to be a Christ follower and what the benefits of that are, and not and hopefully take away some of that thing of, oh, it's the oppressor's religion, or that um it's not meant for us, or that it was never meant for us. So I want to bring that because I feel like there's some uplift in it. Not even some, a lot of uplift in it. And I think it's good for the community, having that uplift and having something that teaches you to be able to deal with things. So I think bringing the gospel to the community and being able to answer hard questions when it relates to that is something that I really want to bring. I want to bring uplift at the end of the day, even if it's not, if they can't get in with, that thing. I still want to be uplifting because that is a reflection of what Jesus was, and that he didn't bash people because they didn't think like him per se, because at the end of the day, the goal is to win souls. The goal is to win people on this side. So, I have to be able to talk and be in certain circles, even my own, as far as with my own people. So, and I want to make sure to bring in that the education, that it's not just education. Like, you could do other things and not if you do things right, there's other ways. That basically, like, just finding other ways, because I don't think like the whole thing of college is reasonable for a lot of people in our community, especially those who may not have the awesome grades like straight A's to be able to get a scholarship, or if they're not playing basketball. But I want to bring resources. I want people to think about other things other than just what the world is saying. Oh, you have to do this, so
Mm,
Right.
good point. Good point. So, Jive,
come here, let me open it.
got a question for you, Jive, because you said something earlier. So, you said your concern is not really that, and I respect that. So, for you as a man, how do you figure when you're trying to focus on things right now where you are and your purpose, right? But you still said talk about bringing things to the community, which is still important. So when it comes to dealing with women, how do you make sure to let a woman know that that's your purpose? And say if you're not feeling her, you don't, just not wasting her time. You know what I'm saying? As a man, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of women have a problem with that, and I respect that. You know what I'm saying? So, are you one of those guys that like, yo, I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna front with you. This is exactly what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you that guy that's on that type of time with like, I'm not gonna waste a woman's time because I'm focused on my purpose.
Now you know that I gotta play. But now, for real, I definitely consider other people's time. You know, I can't help it if we get into a fling, but what I'm looking for is you know much more than that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want somebody to waste my time if not like committed or or that level of loyalty isn't building. I just wouldn't waste the time. So for me, I absolutely have my mind on these goals, these two things. Whether I accomplish it and I die tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? I just want to accomplish it, like it's gonna be there. Because boy doing 96 in this, in the school, you know what I'm talking about. But hey, yeah, that's that's definitely I wouldn't waste nobody's time.
Okay,
But
cool.
Not every relationship is gonna go like that, because sometimes I like to play.
Mm. All right, so I want to ask this question for the whole panel. Do you think it's possible to be able to have flings and still build your community within Black men and Black women? Like, like now, I call you one by one, but to the whole panel, is it possible for us to? Because I had a problem with what Boyce Watkins said about the whole stepdaddy thing. You know what I'm saying? Because as men, I don't think that's going to help our women and children. Is okay. Some new guy step up and become stepdaddy when this sister may have gone through a lot of trauma in her life, to relationships with her family and parents, to the guy she was dealing with, to having kids or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that would work. So starting with you, Jay, do you think that's possible that would work, or should we be coming to the table to actually talk to one another about what's going on versus talking about a stepdaddy fixing the situation?
That stepdaddy stuff, I don't believe in it. Now, when it comes, because we brought up fling, I haven't heard fling in a while. I ain't even gonna lie, man. People, the new word
still exists.
Yeah, the new word I be hearing them use is situationships.
Situationship. You can use that if you want to.
Yeah, I don't believe. I believe that we can help and build the community, even if people are in situationships. But it goes back.
Please explain that.
Yeah, it goes back to what you were saying earlier. You got to be upfront with what it is from the get go. And I would say most of all, the men need to be the ones being upfront. Hey, look, I'm not really looking for nothing. I'm down to chill with you. Whoop de whoop. And then on the back end, the lady that they are dealing with has to understand, because when you trading
no. But hold on. We're not putting on the women. When we talk to each other, the guys we talk, it's on the guys, and then when the women talk, it's on them.
Okay, so I'm just
keep it on the guys.
Okay, I'm
just talking to the men. Right.
Yeah, man. Guys, we can build the community up and still have situationships. The problem is that us guys, we need to be upfront from the get-go. Don't go out here selling a dream. Don't go out here selling a dream to somebody, because they're going to probably believe it, even if your actions show the complete opposite. So I say be upfront and be direct. That's what I tell motherfuckers. Well, tell people right now. Like, I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm not. I'm too busy to be locked down and committed. I've been in multiple relationships. It takes time. You have to be committed to the person that you're dealing with. You have to take their issues into account. It can't just be, I'm coming by, we're gonna have a good time, chill, then boom, I'm gone. I might talk to you in like 3 days. That type of stuff's not gonna work. You got to be upfront with what it is, and y'all can just be good F buddies, or friends with beanies, whatever you want to call it. But it needs to be communicated. It has to be communicated.
Okay, I got one more question.
Hit me with it.
What does a man do if a woman she catches feelings? Now, what is the man to do? What is it on him to do, knowing she might catch feelings? Like, it happens. So do they keep knocking boots?
Nah, he needs to separate himself right then and there.
Okay.
As soon as it's expressed that she is catching feelings for you, or she wants to stop doing this, I'm like, well, look, that's what it was. I told you what it was from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has to separate himself. But we know how a lot of guys like to do it. Like the girl will say something, like, well, we could talk about it, whatever. Let me get them cheeks one more. Come on, we good, baby. Like, you know, and the sad part, they be eating that stuff up, and I be like, man, it's so dumb, man. Like, come on, man. The dude already told you. So, guys, like, if she ever expresses that, like, she's starting to catch feelings, you have to dead that right then and there. Separate yourself, take yourself out of the situation, and look, you can find another chick that could be down with what you're trying to do at the moment, but you gotta take yourself away from that. You gotta X that cat off, like that cat's gone. She ran away. Cat ran away.
So let's get a woman's perspective on this. On your side for the ladies, Lex. What do you think about what Boyce Walker's saying that would help the community if more guys step up to be stepfathers? Do you actually think or agree with him that would help versus us trying to build a community in a real healthy way that has nothing to do with situationship? Like, what's your opinion on that?
Well, I'll be honest. I don't think that is going to heal it unless that's something genuine in the man. If the man wants to do that, like he loves this woman, and
no, not from the man's perspective. As the woman on the side, from the woman's perspective, how would that help a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like think about it. Like, well, for women, like, say, I'll give you a quick example. Like, say, as you speaking as a woman, being like, well, I know us as women. If we're talking about, you know what I'm saying, stepdaddies, but we haven't had our chance to heal, we can't be for him. Or we can't, you get what I'm saying? Be more so speaking for women, how does that help or hurt?
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily on the guys, but I'm saying for you, for as a woman, how does that help?
Got it. I mean, if we are healed, then yes. Because
okay.
If you want a relationship, if you have kids, well, not if, because there wouldn't be no stepdaddy situation unless you had kids. You got kids, then I think, you know, I would think it would be beneficial, even if you were single and before jumping into another relationship, you need to be healed. More so on this side, we need to be healed because of the things that we have now, aka children that are attached to that other person as well. It's not just me being attached, it's children as well. So we got to think about ourselves getting healed and the children. So that's, I mean, I'm gonna say this because I do talk a lot about my father on here, and the guy that's my father, he's not my my sperm donor. He's not the guy that impregnated my mom.
But he raised you.
Yeah, but he raised me. But he was there since I came out. Like when my mom had me, he came to the hospital with balloons and bears and all that type of stuff. I didn't find out he wasn't my, like, I didn't have to sit down and they were like, oh, we got something to tell you. We left Texas and we went to Missouri, and I don't know where we were at, but it was me and my sister. And my mom was talking to this lady, and she was like, oh, so is he the father of both of the children? And I'm sitting there, I'm just shaking my head like, yeah, like, what the hell she asking that for? Like, yeah. And my mom was like, no. I looked at my mom like, what the hell? Like, that's how I found out. I didn't find out through, like, and I would just like sit there like, and this, I'm like 8, 9. So this was a lot for me because I didn't understand that at all. Like, at all. Like, I didn't even really let it, like, I'm 8 or 9, so I didn't put together like my last name was different. Like, I didn't put none of that together. So I will give praises to the men that do that, and because I'm from that, and so everything when I think about a man and all that comes from him. So I have to, you know, say that it can be beneficial for us if you find the right man. It can work, and it can be very beneficial to the children. But that's not something that I particularly want. Like, at this time, I'm just focused on being looking forward to just being single forever. But I mean, I think it can help. I really do. And that's especially because, like I said, I came from that. So I can't knock it at all because I am a product from that, of seeing it work. And he never addressed me as, oh, I got 2 daughters and a stepdaughter, or anything like that. Like, I'm his daughter, them his grandkids. I gave my son his middle name. So like, that's my daddy. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? That's Papa. I ain't gonna tell my kids no different.
But see, my thing would be, my question also would be, because I hear what you say on that, but
Yeah.
back to another part of the question.
Okay.
Even still, this is why I say we got preface and keep it on ourselves as a man and as a woman, right?
Right.
Regardless if the man is a good man, if you haven't gone, like you said, if you haven't been healed, your situation is straight with your family, your household, your children, it don't matter how good of a man he can be, because a woman can still take a man through hell that is a good man. She can step on his toes and everything, like, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So a part of the other question would be to you I want you to kind of answer this to your best ability. What do you say to that, knowing that, all right, say a woman's not healed, or, you know what I'm saying, you're not healed, your household is not straight and all of that, like, the reason why they may not be good, and just keep it on yourself. It ain't got to be about the man, but just keep it on yourself where it could be bad for you. Like, think about, like, if mama's not healed and her new boyfriend or stepdad go through it, what about the kids and men going in and out of their life? Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like how important is it to you about the mental health and healing as a woman? You know what I'm saying? Before even worrying about dealing with a guy, but for his healing for your sake and your children's sake, how important is that for you?
It's very important when I'm telling you I'm prepared to be by myself. Like, I'm prepared to be by myself. Like, I'm and I'll be honest, like, because I go out and there's guys that hit on me, and there's younger guys. Like, I don't, like, I see the older men and they may smile at me, oh, how you doing? But the younger guys be bold. Like, and I'm like, oh, well. And I really, and to where I put it out, I be like, yo, I got 2 kids. I can't, and I tell them straight up, I can't offer you nothing. And they just look at me and they're like, what you mean? Like, look, hey, go live your life. Especially little 27, like, and 26. Oh, go live your life. Go have fun with your life. You know what I'm saying? Baby, I'll see you somewhere around. We'll see how you feeling in about 10 years. But I mean, it's that important to me to where I literally have to prepare myself. Like, Alexis, you just gonna have to be single because for the rest of your life. Now, I don't know if it'll really actually happen, but just prepare myself, because I do want to be healed, because I don't want to put nothing out on another man. I definitely don't want to do that. I even recognize the exhaustion the last relationship had on me. Like, I recognize it to where it's like, I don't want nothing like falling. I'm like, oh, excuse me, that's mine. Don't step on it. But like, I don't want none of that, to where I'm just like, nah, I don't want to. And I don't want that thing between my children, because I've had friends who've had that same situation where they dating lots of men. And I'm like, looking at them like, you got not a kid, you got kids. Why is you letting these men in and out? Like that don't rock with me, especially for the fact, like I said, I saw one man. Like, I saw one man, and I don't. Nah, it's very important. Even when you think, even when you think you healed, take another 6 months. If you think you healed, like, oh, I got now. Even if your therapist say that you healed, the doctors say that you healed, take another 6 months. Like, that's how I feel it's so important, because you can relapse at any time. So he could do something to trigger you. he leaves the cup on the table one time, and you remember when he used to leave the cup on the table. Like, you know, like, I think it's very important for us to get healed and also be open, because you got to be open. And when you go into another relationship with this type of stuff, you got to be very open. You can't think you can be closed doored and say that you heal and think that the relationship is going to work. So that's another thing. You got to be healed, and you got to know how to be open enough and be honest with the person that you with. So
good perspective. So going to you, John. Like I said, Boyce Watkins said guys can step up. That'll help the community becoming stepfathers. What do you think about that? Because he never talked about men healing. He never talked about, not saying he never talks about men trying to invest and get better, but to just say, like, jumping in there. What up, Death Note? What up, Melanated? So what do you think about that? He's just talking about, like, stepdaddy season is going to help things change versus what men have to do, what we have to work on doing better. So what's your thoughts on that, by him acting like stepdaddy season is going to change something as a man?
Hey, there's always Russell Wilsons out there, man. There's always Russell Wilson.
I get that.
A man will find time to take another man's family just because he would feel like he could do it better. I mean, again, like the women said, if he loves the woman enough, he'll do it. But for me, well, for the definition of a fling, I'm not after any single moms or soccer moms or anything like that. These men made a conscious decision to be what they are, and they live in that. You know what I'm saying? They not taking money for it, but you know, we might hang out on the date or something like that. For the community, I think there's always space for mentorship, no matter who it's from.
Jay, you seem to be making a lot of over there. What's on your mind? What's on your chest, my brother?
Bro, I'm not.
I mean, you must have realized you wasn't muted, so you got something on your chest.
I had to look over here at my mic. I was like, man, it's not red. I ain't tripping on it, man. Like, for real, because everybody has their own way of going about things and thinking about those type of things. I'm supposed to only talk about the men's side, so.
Yeah. See, it becomes a little different when you just got to talk about yourself and us, don't it?
No, like, I don't. Job said that there's always a Russell Wilson out there, and I actually agree with that, because there are simps out here on our side that I wish weren't there, because it kind of throws the market off. You know, like, there's let's say this stock price is usually trading at $20, but then you have this simp that comes in and floods the market, which makes the price of that thing jump up to 100. So now the people that own the stock think that this stock is worth this much, but it's just inflated. Eventually, it's going to come back down to earth. And simps do that in the dating market. They pump these girls' heads up, and these are men doing this. They pump their heads up. Like, you have guys going out here smashing big girls, guys smashing girls with 8 kids by 7 different dudes, and that stock is so inflated that you can't, like, the fall is so great, man. Like, I was just over here, like.
All right. I mean, I trust me. I get y'all on that, but I guess that's kind of my perspective on it too. Is the way that boys came in saying that, and it's like, but you lying to the women. You know what I'm saying? Then you got allegations from black women saying that he He stole certain ideas of theirs. He stole channel names and all of that, put on his name and things of that nature. So it's like he's coming with the simp talk, but he might be a wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what I don't like as a man, and I see that. You know what I'm saying? Because not many people are bringing that fact up of him doing that to sisters, and they brought that point out, but it's like they just went away. So you got this sucker over here trying to say this, and he trying to get brownie points and things of that nature. So I feel you on that. I don't really think it's cool. For me personally, I think that's some sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? As a man, especially as a black man, you pulling some sucker shit, and you trying to gain all these brownie points because you got the girl of your dreams. That's great. God bless you. But then don't try to act like you such a white knight and you honorable like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a problem with that. Okay, go ahead.
Now, I was about to say a good example of that is a Derek Jackson,
Mm.
a guy that sits out here and basically tells the other side that they're queens, goddesses, and all this stuff. And if a man does anything wrong, you need to leave him, get the hell away from him. And lo and behold, you cheating on your wife, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
But you ain't want your wife to leave you. But you told all these sisters to leave their man if they sensed that if he didn't pick his socks up, leave him.
Mm. Hey Lex, be careful about going too far. You don't want make sure you keep your address off camera now. But go ahead, Jay.
Nah, that was it, man. It's just hypocrites, and like that's why I'm just like Boyce Watkins, Derrick Jackson, those type of guys. I can't get down with them because I'm like, dude, you're pandering. You're pandering, and basically all you're doing is okay. You got your money, you kind of got your situation. You're trying to get more, but for the guys out here trying to grind and guys that actually want to build families with sane women that have sane expectations for their guy, for the men that they want to be with, you're kind of messing it up. You're inflating the market with this BS, and it's messing with people's heads.
Okay, I agree with that. I respect that. I think that that's what we're talking about with this. Like coming to the table and trying to pause for a second. It's also I think another thing we have to bring to the table is to let women know, like, hey man, we our protection that we want to offer you is sometimes you may not agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we want you to know that this is because we see certain things. So we want to bring information to y'all and let you analyze it and see what we're saying. Like when you talk about Derrick Jackson, we've been calling Derrick Jackson out for years before this scandal came out, before Tasha K even exposed it. We've been talking about now something is not right about him. Like guys don't talk like that. Guys don't act like when we're talking about something and we've been like serious, we being logical and analyzing stuff, we don't just make it seem as though something is perfect for the other person to do whatever, and then for these people over here, they're wrong 100% of the time. Like that's not reality. You know what I'm saying? So we can see that something was not right with guys like him or Steve Harvey. Like I remember I did a video showing the way he treated his ex-wives. Like when he decided to move on to a new woman, he abandoned the other wife, left them hanging, then they end up having to take him to court, both for the ex-wives. That like stuff like that bothers me. I think that's the protection guys got to give to women as well. That knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Information of protection, because it's more so than just physical. It's also being able to be leadership and things that you say and stuff like that. Like those are other things that we got to bring to the table. All right, well, I already said what's up with Melanated. Said what up to Death Note. Death Note, bring your sensible ass up here. If you got the time, if you're free. Melanated, if you want to come up, feel free to go ahead, come up and join. We're just having a good discussion, pausing for us, going in on each other. And I was talking trash. We holding ourselves accountable as men and as women. That's what we're talking about tonight on the show. All right. So, everybody got any questions? Anything they want to throw on the table?
Well, I got something. I mean, whether or not you want to educate a woman, I guess that's the same thing in a sense that Derrick Jackson was doing. Like, he was giving the women heads up if your guy act like this. What I think that is the correct thing that we should do is like you said, at the table of 16 men and 16 of 16, 8 women, 8 men. What we should do is have a discussion highlighting some of the difficulties of everyday relationships and work those things out if it could be worked out then and there, or address them if they need to be addressed. You see what I'm saying? Definitely, like, we don't want to give women a cheat code for them to feel like, okay, we're empowering them. And then I know that sounds bad, but
Yeah, please explain that one.
yeah, it does sound bad that, okay, we're empowering women, but we're not giving them an entitlement to the knowledge of, hey, if your man leaves the sock on the couch, you need to get rid of him. Well, we're giving them a reasonable sense of how difficult, or a reasonable sense that is not such a difficult problem to get over. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
For her man leaving a sock on the floor?
Right, because they would go tirades, especially if they have hidden emotions in their past, or they're hurt or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. We gotta, especially if it's an example, but we gotta bring the ideas together and not falter to them, not be petty. So
let me ask you this question. What about guys saying that if a woman has social media, you should break up with her?
Well, we know the effects of that. That's a cold truth. You know what I'm saying? Some women don't understand the limits of social media. They just come up there and they really all out. They really show out, forgetting their husband, forgetting their relationship values. They with every conversation.
Keep talking, I'm listening.
They with every conversation, and I don't personally I don't personally see the benefit in that, especially for a woman. Yeah, that's the truth of the argument for me.
Okay, so I'm trying to understand what. Okay, so when you bring that up, I'm trying to understand what's the point of bringing that up? What's the point of contention with that argument that you just brought up? For not getting rid of a man because socks are on the floor.
So that was just an example within an example that I gave. As far as the conversation that we're having, I don't believe that, like, men, again, agreeing with you, men should give relationships advice in that way, like Derek Jackson.
Okay. And you're saying that other men are saying the stuff that he's saying makes no sense.
Definitely.
Okay. But men shouldn't give women advice.
If I believe that if it's not your personal family and it's not a person with outside of your family circle, I don't think that you should be involved in that type of level of discussion. You know what I'm saying?
So you thinking Kevin Samuels shouldn't have been giving women advice?
Oh, that wasn't advice. That was correction. That was get into reality. That wasn't advice. Like, oh, you wait, you know, you're considering yourself such a high on a high pedestal, but you weigh 400 pounds. It was a basis in reality. That's what I feel about Kevin Samuels, opposed to what Derek Jackson was doing.
Okay, Lexus, what you got an opinion on what Job just said? And then what he just said?
If it looked like a duck, and it quacked like a duck.
That's right. That's right.
Like, nah, I mean, y'all ain't going. Y'all do the most. Nah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Kevin Samuels just did it different than Derek Jackson, and actually, he was better at it than Derek Jackson. I mean, because up until the time he, well, not even because I haven't heard any scandals as far as, you know, people perpetuating things, but I haven't heard or seen any concrete evidence that is like, oh, this is what it is towards Kevin Samuels. But I have on Derek Jackson. Derek Jackson, I mean, he had a longer receipt than when you get extra money on the food stamps. His receipts were like, like, so I ain't seen none of that with Kevin Samuels. So that's, I mean, they were doing a similar thing, just did it differently, and one just happened to be better at it than the other. But nah, it's still giving advice. However you want to dress it up, if you want to put it 5 inches or 2 inches on it, it's still giving advice. It ain't no difference. Like I said, I just feel like one was better than the other. Some of the stuff Derek Jackson said had some type of rationale to it, but you could tell that it was pandering. And so, but I feel like on a level, like, to recap when he was talking about like social media and stuff, I'm not, I tried it basically, and I did it, a lot of it, especially when I was trying to drop my mixtape when I was younger, and that was like with advice from my producer at the time, and, you know, certain people that were trying to help me push my mixtape. But as far as social media, like, I believe that with females on social media, like, you should have a line as far as what you're putting on there, especially when you're in a relationship, when you have respect for your partner. And the same thing, I mean, it's vice versa. I think it should be the same with men. But speaking from a woman perspective, I think you shouldn't put anything out there that would have people looking at your man funny and things like that. Like, it just, unless your man is approving of it, do what you do. Like, if he's fine with it, he like it, I love it, you know. But well, let me put it like this: certain social media, if you're out there in the short, skimpy skirt, or you showing up, that's one thing. Like, with me nowadays, and because I keep my social media small, I have a lot of people that I connect with on social media is a lot of friends, well, a lot of family and friends that are not so close to me anymore. As far as, you know, like, I got a friend that lives in well, she used to live in Lubbock, but now she lives in Oklahoma. It's another way, instead of thinking like, oh, let me send these pictures to her, I can post them on my social media platforms. She'll see them. And the same thing with her. She'll post. So, you know, we see pictures of the kids and stuff like that. So if you have a social media like that, then that's different than you having a, because there's some moms, like, you see them, you wouldn't even know that they had kids with the way they post on social media. You're like, damn, you got kids? Like, you ain't got an kid in your photo. You know what I'm saying? On social media, ain't got man kid. Like, You take pictures of you in that dress and out eating and taking pictures of the food. Where you? I didn't see a little hand or nothing. Like, by the plate, look at that. Like, I'm just saying. So I think it's a difference on the type of social media. Because there's some women, you know, there's some moms who created a whole social media off their life as a mom and pictures of the kids. And, you know, there's some parents that are like that. So it really just depends on the type of social media. But if you're talking about the one where you all out there with your stuff out and doing, especially I feel like there's a respect with yourself if you're doing that too. And that's the deeper point. Now, if you gotta put all that out there, you're sensing validation. You're sensing something. And even in, like, if I want to speak on a woman, as far as if I was in a relationship with a woman, I'd be like, why are you doing all that? Like, what you doing all that for? That's for me. Like, no. So, I mean,
this is what I want to ask, and sending it to you, Jay. So when it comes to back to what we were just talking about with the advice with Derrick Jackson and things of that nature, do you think it's tough to hold dudes accountable that are snake ass simps like Derrick Jackson? Do you think it's tough to do that?
Nah, I don't think it's tough to hold them accountable. Like, when it comes to us guys on this side, and where you talking about, from like the female perspective or from the male perspective?
From the male perspective.
Nah, I don't think it's hard to hold it. Guys ain't got no problem calling out a fuck boy. Like, I ain't never seen. Well, hell, there are some dudes, if they're like friends with them or family members or something like that, they're a little bit more hesitant. But people out in the public, I've never seen people hold back their tongues to call a man out on something he's doing. Maybe I just missed it.
I mean, especially if he winning. Like, I mean, look at Michael Jordan. Like, I was a fan of his, and I didn't know what type of person he really was until certain things started coming out. Then it was like, I can't ride with him like that. Like, I still respect what he's done in the NBA. It's like, I can't ride with you no more. You investing in prison systems and things of that nature. It's like, I can't ride with you on that. You're not being on the side of our people, so I'm not cool with that. You know what I mean?
Well, here's shape it for me. Are you talking about like people that are famous and have a lot of?
No, I'm just in general. I'm bringing up MJ for a reason, because you have people so immersed on his jock strap that they let anything slide that they hear bad about Jordan. Even if it's proven that he a piece of shit, people still, well, MJ this and buying his shoes. I don't buy none of his shoes no more.
I never. Oh shit! I never bought none.
Don't do that.
I never bought none, but yeah, like that. I had to ask that question, like, in general, because if it's just like the majority, the average day people around here, I've never seen people hold back their tongues to call the dude out for stuff like men call a dude out, even if it's proven that it's false. Like, some dudes will still hold that grudge and still act like it happened. So yeah, I haven't seen that yet. Or at least not in mass.
I mean, guys. I mean, we used to it. Sometimes the only problem is even when it's like I said, like an MJ situation, the popular guy, you have people call stuff out, but then you have people call people out for the wrong person, like kind of standing up for them and all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so guys, we ain't gonna keep talking about this too long. I just wanted to check everybody's temperature on this, trying to pause things. I just want to see how people felt. And I think that we had a good conversation. But I will say this, I will find it funny. I do find it funny. And this was my experiment, and I'm going to break it down to y'all now. I just wanted to see everybody's temperature, how they would react if we got to keep it on ourselves or our gender versus putting it on somebody else. And I see we still got ways to go, because we still sneak into talking about women or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? We still got a ways to go, but I think we know where to at least start. But I think the biggest thing is making sure we're working on ourselves, so that way we can be peace to somebody else in a relationship and dealing with somebody else. So real quick before we wrap up, of course, if anybody want to come through on the after show, you know how we always do it. But Lexus, I want to ask you your opinion. Do you find that, like, how did you like the conversation? And do you find it kind of hard to keep it on yourself as a woman versus saying about what the man need to do?
Did I find it hard to keep it on myself?
Yeah.
No. No. I'm a big person on myself as far as like if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, or if I need something, then I need to be able to. I'm big on that, especially because it came from Alexis when Alexis didn't used to give a F. So I used to be proud to be like F you. Like this is me. This is all me right here. So I don't have an issue with keeping it on myself when I come falling short, as well as I don't have a problem with keeping it on myself when I'm doing good. But yeah, that's me. It's a little hard, like on that point when you asked earlier when you was like what I think about Boyce's part.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, you did.
Yeah, but I mean, because I was just thinking, well, if he's okay with it, and that's only because, like I said, my background. But other than that, no, yeah, I don't think it was hard.
Okay, what about you, Ja?
Ask me the question again.
Ja, you be tripping me out, bro. He'll be sitting there like listening attentively. And you be like, Ja, what do you think? He be like,
I do, because I form an opinion about what she said, but the questions is off. Let me all right.
There you go. Let me rewind it back in. What do you think about the conversation we had tonight? And do you find it hard to kind of keep it on yourself as far as what we're talking about with the gender war situation? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, or is it easy to just focus on what you need to focus on?
I definitely find that I focus on myself a lot more. But also when it comes to addressing the issues at hand, I got tons of ammunition for that. You know? And again, you're such a great orator that that you ask questions well, and you address the topics that need to be addressed. So I appreciate you, brother, for that.
No problem. All right, Jay, what about you? What do you think about the conversation? And with the questions I was asking, do you find it hard to not say something about the opposite sex when it comes to the gender war questions versus just keeping it on yourself? Because I mean, I know we all slip and may say something and be like, oh, well, hold on, well, that wasn't a question. And then maybe you might start thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of see what I'm saying now. Like, you kind of slip and get used to it. Versus, you know, like he said something about us and then we're talking about the opposite gender again.
And you just gave me an out because I was gonna be like, yeah, I obviously slipped up a few times on that one. But like the conversation in a whole, I believe that was good. And I'm gonna try to promote more throughout the week to try to get more women on the panel to have these conversations because we need to start this line of communication because men didn't start this gender war. And well, hey, I'll say black men did start this gender war, and we don't want to fight with y'all. We don't want to fight with y'all. I don't think we ever really wanted to fight with y'all. But I'm speaking from the guys that go out there and do what they're supposed to do. So the conversation is good to get. Well, it's just good to get it going. It's got to get started, and that's why I like that we got so many different people on the channel, on the network to talk about different topics and keep it going. And it's just to advance the whole black community as a whole. And do I find it hard to focus on? Well, I clearly slipped up a couple times going back to that. But once I'm kind of like locked into what it needs to be, on what the actual topic is and what we're focusing on, I don't think it's that hard. But sometimes you gotta, slap Timmy in the back of the head, like, "Hey, Timmy, that ain't what we talking about, bro. Talk about that." So,
okay. All right, well, before we get up out of here, I want everybody to go ahead, let them know where to find them at. You know it's going to be over here at the JBJ Network. So, Lexus, you go ahead first. Let them know where to find you at and what time your show is and what day.
You're on mute, girl. She on mute.
You're on mute.
You should have let her keep talking for a second.
Anyway, Straight Up the Gate with Alexis from Texas is on Sundays at the JVJ Network, 7 p.m. So that's where I'm at. every day, all day, between home and work.
Hallelujah.
Don't forget, Central, 7 p.m. Central.
My bad. Central.
On Sundays. All right. No Jive, your turn, brother.
Oh, me. I'm the host of No Jive Network, or excuse me, not network, but Reality with No Jive for sure. And I promote business material, current events, and I try to debunk what people think has been like historical facts. So uh, that's where you will find me at Reality with No Jive on YouTube. Check me out on Instagram or catch me for further updates on both Instagram and Facebook. So I'll post small clips of articles that come out that you might have missed. All right. So that's me. Reality with No Jive.
And you said what day and time?
Okay, that's Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Uh, you'll catch me with live stream on Friday on 8 p.m. Eastern time, and Mondays at the same time. For my regular schedule programming.
Go. All right, Jay, your turn.
All right, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy. Let's talk with Jay versus Jordan. You can catch me over on the Let's Talk the Let's Talk Network on Saturdays. I do my show that day at 8:00 Eastern Time or 7:00 Central Time, whichever one floats your boat. It's the same time either way. But you can also catch me over at Let's Talk with JVJ, my regular YouTube channel, and I do lives over there on Wednesdays too. But we talk about relationships, and I'm gonna try to mix a couple other things in there. But yeah, I'll let your boy.
All right, and it's your boy JTL, aka Opposite from the North 18. Y'all know to go over there and make sure you subscribe. Definitely make sure you subscribe here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Make sure you like as well, and make sure you subscribe. All right. So this your boy JTL, aka Out from the North 18. Every Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Y'all know what it is. We're gonna be here with more fire for y'all, more conversations. We're gonna do what we do. So I'm gonna let my boy JB go ahead and take us out. And if y'all want to come to the after show, the link is in the description. So make sure y'all come holler at us. It's in the chat. All right. We out.
Sure.